Let me invite you today to reflect on the three readings for our 48th Sunday Ordinary Time. This past 4 weeks I have been busy packing my things that I have accumulated for almost 8 years here in Germany. Many of these have been gifts to me. In 27, I came here in Germany with only one medium-sized luggage and one small backpack. Now I have to go back to the Philippines with 7 large shipping boxes. It is hard to let go of some stuffs, even if I know that I will not be able to use them anymore in the Philippines. There is already a kind of attachment to them as if they have a lasting value. You know, even the more expensive winter jackets that I used here, I want to bring them home. Even if it's 35 to 40 degrees in the Philippines all year round. I thought I could not just give them to Father Albert because he is small. If you are interested, you can come to me after the Mass. I struggle to let them go. And this struggle is not only in the mind, but also it is something emotional. Today's readings focus our attention on our attitude to material things. It is about the things we consider as important in our lives, things that we value most. The book of Ecclesiastes in the first reading opens and closes with these striking words, vanity of vanities. The Hebrew word for vanity is hebel, which literally means vapor or breath, usok o hininga. It describes the fragile, temporary, passing value of material things. And the first reading anticipates the strong message of the Gospel about the parable of the rich fool. As Jesus is teaching about trust in God amid trials, a certain man interrupts him with a personal concern, a family conflict about inheritance. Rather than responding to Jesus' spiritual instruction, the man presents to Jesus a problem about how he and his brother can fairly divide their inheritance. Instead of asking Jesus, Rabbi, help me to be generous. Teach me to value heavenly treasure over material things. Instead of that, his heart was fixed on material possessions. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a very strong message. It needs to be clarified. 3 points to clarify. First, the readings are not a rejection of hard work, ambitions, and opportunities. It is not a rejection of comfort and convenience. All of us have a dream to be able to buy all the things we would love to have, to be able to travel, to have no worries. As one of our parishioners always tell me, Father, kung mananalo ako sa loto, ipapagawa natin ang simbahan na yan. Tutulungan natin ang mga nangangailangan pag nanalo ako sa loto. Sabihin mo sa katabi mo, sana manalo ka sa loto. Vanity of vanities is not a rejection of good life. What is it then? It is the realization that material things are not enough to fulfill our deepest soul and life. And Jesus even intensifies this message in the parable of the rich fool, who thought because of his abundant material possessions, he would have real security and peace of mind. That is the first. Second, what is being condemned by the readings is not material possessions, it is not wealth, but how we value them, what kind of importance we put into them, what kind of obsession we feel about them. That is the issue that is presented by the readings. The rich farmer was not called fool because he is hardworking. He was not called fool because he was creative, he was ambitious, he was wise to grow his wealth. The problem was that he had much. Rather, that he lived only for himself. He lived only for himself. The problem is egoism or egotism. Actually, when you listen well to the story, it is a monologue. He was literally talking to himself about his ambition. That is the second. Finally, let me end our reflection with the third clarification. Let us not forget why Jesus told this story. The rich fool in this story lived his life without reference to God. He lived his life without reference to God. Before this passage in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus was teaching his disciples about putting their trust in God. And then he tells this story of the parable of the rich fool. The issue that is presented to us is not that the rich farmer had much. Rather, his own life and ambitions became the center of his life. It became his God. The true God, who offers real security and happiness, was replaced by egoism, by the word self. Self. Look at the monologue of the rich farmer. It is filled with I, me, mine. St. Paul in the second reading is even more direct. He calls egoism idolatry, meaning worship of a false god, self-adoration. Let us pause for a moment and ask and reflect, what am I living for? Do I only live for myself? Am I like the rich fool in the story of Jesus, thinking that the center of the world is me, what is mine, what I have? Self-adoration.